Hi everyone, it's Dr. Jen Kordonsky with tonight's class, Intuitive Eating Holiday Edition. And I'm coming to you live from the office with a quick message, an empowering message. And chiropractic recognizes and works with, and you may have heard us mention before, something that we call innate intelligence. Innate intelligence is the intelligence that you were born with from the moment the egg and the sperm came together and started to become you. It's been there, it heals you, it runs you on a day-to-day basis. Your innate intelligence is what is making sure that your heart beats the appropriate number of times, your eyes are blinking and keeping your eyes moist. It's all the things that you're not thinking about, your innate intelligence is running the show. And we recognize this as chiropractors, and we don't take credit for the healing and the sometimes just amazing changes that a person's body goes through when they have chiropractic care. We never take credit for it because we know it's not the adjustment, it's what your innate intelligence does with that adjustment that makes all of the difference. Now, intuitive eating is a nutritional philosophy that honors innate intelligence. Unlike some of the diets and fads and eating methodologies that are out there that maybe tell you, don't eat this, only eat that. Those kind of methods tune out, or they teach you to tune out any of your body's signals for what it wants or needs, and we know that doesn't respect the innate intelligence of your body and your body's design. So the holidays are coming, and we know that the holiday season brings with it so many traditions and celebrations and gatherings and gifts of special foods and treats, and all of that should be something that we enjoy, we look forward to. We should realize that not everyone has the abundance that you may enjoy in your life. And we want to celebrate and enjoy, but there can also sometimes be an excessiveness that comes with all of this. And personally, in my life, I have experienced times where, I had very rigid ideas about what was good, healthy eating and what was appropriate nutrition, or I was on a diet trying to lose weight, and then, the holidays would come, and between all of the celebratory foods and maybe the added stresses, said something like, oh, the heck with it, and just threw in the towel. And go from a very rigid shouldn't eat to whatever, anything goes, I don't feel like dealing with the rules anymore. And of course that leads to overindulgence and leads to, feeling less than optimal, less than healthy. And because, I've had that, and I'm sure you've heard people think that, oh, well, I'll just deal with it in January. I'll make a resolution in January. I'll go back to, the rules next year. Because of that philosophy, that pushes you to overindulge even more because it's a limited time offer. And then January comes, and if you're anything like me, you've maybe experienced overcorrecting, and then, trying to be rigid again, and trying to make up for that overindulgence by being super strict. And of course, that's not sustainable, that's not enjoyable, so then the pendulum swings back the other way. And going through this overly strict or overly indulgent pendulum swing isn't healthy. It's not sustainable. It's not good for you mentally or physically. And so I'm going to introduce two concepts, two ideas that I want you to open your mind to. I'm sure you've heard them before. I want you to open your mind to absorbing them and implementing them. And they're concepts that will help you through the holidays and for a lifetime to enjoy eating in a way that is healthy and sustainable. And the two concepts are this, and I'd love for you to write this down, just the two words, and put it somewhere where it will remind you. But for now, you don't have to worry about taking notes. It's just to absorb the idea. The first concept is striving for balance. So just write the word balance somewhere and let it be a visual reminder to you. But I want to let you know there is a caveat here. There really is no such thing as balance. I want you to think of a seesaw and realize that you're either here or there. It's never perfectly still. And balance in life, in any aspect of life, is truly just an illusion, but it's something that we should strive towards. We don't want to be constantly way out of balance. We want to try to get the scales or the seesaw to be somewhere in the middle and realize that it's always going to be fluctuating a little bit, and that's okay, whether that's your home life, work life balance, or your nutritional balance or anything else. It's never going to be just flatlined, right? It's always a little bit of a back and forth. So forgive yourself. Understand that it's just a goal to be striving towards. But no, there's really no such thing. But what I'm looking for here is letting go of the traditional black and white thinking when it comes to food and nutrition. That this food is good, that this food is bad, that I should eat this or I shouldn't eat that. Try to let go of that. That creates stress and tension around food. And think more in terms of a spectrum of foods that are over here as really nourishing and foods that are over here as really fun. And all foods are good. They're just on a spectrum of nourishing to just pure fun. And we should strive for a balance of those foods. We hope to reach for foods that are more nourishing to our body and enjoying those fun foods too. And if you notice that your pendulum or your seesaw is shifting out of balance, then know that you can bring it back into balance at the very next meal. We don't have to say it's black or white, all or nothing. I'm either on plan or off plan. You can have a meal that's shifted a little bit this way, and then the next meal we shift the seesaw in the other direction and just bringing back balance. We don't have to just go all out until January and then, try to be perfect on New Year's Day. It just doesn't work like that. Here's something I want you to realize, and you probably realize it on a fundamental level, but on an emotional level, it's something that we have to understand, that these special holiday, celebratory, traditional foods and wonderful things that are going to be abundant right now are not going to go away. We can have them again later. With a few exceptions, you can have pumpkin pie in the middle of July. You can, these things are not going to be out of reach. And when we think of these as limited edition items, like the pumpkin spice latte is going away, then we feel like we have to stock up on it now, and it leads to overindulgence. And the same is true of labeling a food bad for you. If this is a bad food, then it creates this stigma around it. And if I am going to indulge in it, then it encourages overdoing it, because you may never get it again, or you may go back to realizing or restricting yourself from that food. So no foods are bad. They're all on a spectrum, from fun to nourishing, and we just want to strive for a balance. Concept number 2 is attempt to be mindful. So that's the other word I want you to write down, is mindfulness. And we talk about this a little bit when we talk about stress and we talk about gratitude. Every time you eat is an opportunity to practice gratitude and to take a breath, pause, and think about the fact that you have this food to enjoy. Even if it's something that you're grabbing on the run, we should be grateful for it, and we should have that little reminder to say, I should pause. I should relax a second as I put this food into my body. It's great for your mental health. It's great for your stress reduction. Try not to have distractions while you're eating. Take that couple of minutes, turn off the TV, stop looking at your phone. I know that we try to save time by doing things, while we're eating. I'm definitely guilty of it. But when you can, limit the distractions so you focus more on the fact that you're eating. Take a moment to notice the flavor, the texture of the food that you're consuming. Not only will that serve to help you enjoy it more, get more pleasure and more satisfaction out of the meal, it'll help you to slow down and to notice your body's signals. And that's the next point, is notice your hunger and notice your fullness. Most of the time we don't until we reach the extremes of either hunger or fullness, that we pay attention to what our body is saying, like, oh my God, I way overdid it, or I'm so hungry, I'm just ravenous. Hunger and fullness in the spectrum, again, we want to notice before they're extreme. And a little bit of hunger is good. It's going to help you really experience more satisfaction out of the food. And a lot of hunger, when we push past that little bit of hunger, we ignore those clues, or we think, oh, it's not mealtime yet, or I shouldn't be hungry right now, and we go into overly hungry, well, that just leads to eating foods that may or may not make us feel good, overeating, because we have pushed past that initial your body talking to you. And we want to honor the fact that your body is intelligent. And we don't have to tell babies when it's time to eat. They just know they're hungry. And that's still in you, even though we have overridden these signals time and time again. And the same is true of our fullness. Start to notice when you are no longer hungry in a meal. An idea might be to attempt to pause halfway through a meal and just notice if your hunger was here and now it's gone down, where is your fullness? And do you want to finish the meal, or maybe you don't? Either way, there's no right or wrong answer, but pausing midway to just notice those signals from your body, again, will slow you down. It will make the experience more enjoyable, and it's a much healthier way of having a relationship with food and with eating. So write down those two words, balance and mindfulness. Start looking for ways to apply these concepts. Start noticing when you are telling yourself you should or you shouldn't, or that I've overdone it, and so tomorrow I'm going to be extreme, or January I'm going to be extreme in restriction. Notice that those are out of balance ways of looking at food, and share this with someone that you know that may enjoy it. Please remember to leave a comment or to like the post so that we know that you've attended and we can give you credit for it, because we're going to be starting a monthly gift card giveaway. So everyone who's attended a workshop in that month, at the beginning of the month, will have a gift card drawing. So you're going to make sure you get your attendance. And happy, healthy holidays to all of you.